Today, we are kicking the supplement store to the curb. That's up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne.
And Lori.
And this is Healthy Farm Living. So you guys might recognize us from Edge of Nowhere Farm. We've got another channel. We share all of our farming escapades with you guys. We obviously grow a lot of things here on the farm. One of those things that we grow here is one of our favorites. What is that?
Moringa trees.
Yes. So if you guys have shopped organic moringa powder, I pulled a few up on Amazon before we sat down. You're looking at about, $15 to $30+ a pound for moringa powder on Amazon, and even more expensive depending on the brand. One of the things we wanted to share with you today is how we harvest it, how we process it, and turn it into what you see right here. We have over a dozen moringa trees here on the farm. Now we use those for several things. Animal feed and fodder is one of them. But what we really prefer is we prefer to utilize the leaves for us. All of our moringa trees are 1 to 2 years old at this point. And this year we actually harvested our last 2 trees, which had very, very beautiful green leaves on there. And we took those into our outbuilding.
In the past, we've always dried our leaves with a dehydrator. This year we went ahead and just pile on the table to let those dry for several days.
So already, with just that amount of processing, we've gone from a tremendous amount of material with all the large branches and the sticks down to just the leaves on that table.
After the leaves finish drying, we go ahead and break it down even further and take some of the smaller sticks off to get down to pretty much just the leaves.
Now this next step, if you don't have all the tools, it's pretty simple to pulverize these. You could use a mortar and pestle. It'll take you a while, but you definitely could do that. We prefer to take the easy route. So for us, that's our Ninja blender.
After we put it through the blender, we did use a strainer to strain out any of the smaller branches or leaves that didn't break down.
So at this point, we've gone from a Rubbermaid cart full of branches and leaves to a 5-gallon bucket of small leaves to about 1.5 pounds of actual powder when it's all said and done. Now, the powder itself is just beautiful. Just this wonderful bright green color. The powder that we have in front of us here, we've actually had up in our supplement cabinet for about 2 to 3 weeks now, and it still has its vibrant, beautiful green color. So many advantages to moringa powder, but just wanted to give you an idea of one of the reasons it's so expensive. You have to grow that tree. You have all the branching it puts on over the summer, so for several months. And all of that branching narrows down to about 1.5 pounds of powder. So it does take quite a bit in order to get a little bit of material when it's all said and done. Now, this has a lot of vitamins and minerals, and one of those is vitamin A. Now, we're used to vitamin A with carrots, right? But greens have a lot of vitamin A as well. In fact, it's one of the reasons why pastured chickens and our pastured eggs have such a dark orange yolk. That's from our chickens eating greens just like this. One of the great parts about being here in Arizona, we're a citrus state, and we love our citrus, especially here in the wintertime when it's ripe, because of the vitamin C. So what could possibly have more vitamin C than an orange?
So the moringa powder actually has 7 times more vitamin C than an orange.
One of the other things that's great about greens is iron. A lot of iron in moringa, in any green really, but especially in moringa. A lot of greens you have are cereal grasses, right? Like we're used to barley grass and wheatgrass. It's very, very common to see those, especially in supplement stores. However, all of those grasses have very, very shallow roots. That's not the case for moringa. So moringa has a very, very deep taproot, and because of that, it actually mines a tremendous amount of minerals out of the soil. So the mineral content in this green is far superior to pretty much any of the other greens that you're gonna find in your supplement stores. Now this has a lot more calcium than milk. So it is a calcium powerhouse, but more importantly, magnesium. Now, as long as the soil has it, so that's the key. One of the reasons we love growing and making our own moringa powder, we know exactly what goes into that soil, which is pretty much nothing. Our soil here in Arizona is very, very mineral dense, so we know that this powder is the same. But even if you don't have those same conditions, wherever you are, growing a moringa tree and doing this yourself saves you money, and it guarantees that you're gonna have the most amount of minerals inside that moringa.
For us, our favorite way to use the moringa powder is in smoothies.
What's great about this, it doesn't matter what time of year, we always have a beautiful, bright green, wonderful green powder to go into those smoothies. So one last note on moringa powder is storage. How do we normally store this powder?
So we actually have it in a mason jar. So this time it's a 1/2 gallon mason jar that fit almost all of the powder that we got.
So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here. Today we are actually showing you how to make one of your own supplements and save a ton of money. And actually that's one of our goals, but we want to share healthy recipes and healthy ingredients with you to make sure that you can be as healthy as possible.
If you have any questions or comments, those go down below in the comment section.
And our Amazon shop. I'll leave a link down in the description. If you start with that link, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. And yeah, you'll find moringa powder in there, but I say make it yourself. So we just want to thank you for being with us here today and remind you to be farm healthy. I'd really like to have that orange though. I think it tastes a lot better.
It does.
A whole lot better.